So guys, I am currently at the hospital. Today is the day that my wife has to have surgery. She has to have a hysterectomy, and it's a little concerning. She has a softball size fibroid in her uterus, and those are presenting complications of its own, along with worrying about her pacemaker. She struggles to come out of anesthesia, so we've been praying, we've been talking, and I try not to reflect my cares and things on her to not add to what she's already dealing with. So I just kind of keep things to myself for the most part. But she's back there now, and I think they're going to call me back in a minute to hang out with her during pre-op while she's getting prepped and stuff like that. So, and then we got some time to sit and wait. So today will be a little bit weird. My wife and I have had some sort of medical emergency almost every year that we've been married. If it wasn't me, it was her. Sometimes it was both. But it seems like every procedure we have battled through on our own. She's been to the hospital by herself when it was me. I was at the hospital by myself when it was her, sitting in waiting rooms like this for hours by myself. Sometimes, depending on where you're at, you're in one small room for hours waiting, and that can be quite stressful. But I had kind of acclimated myself to it, and it got to where I was better dealing with it on my own. And today's going to be a little bit different because got some folks coming up here in a little while. My son, one of my sons, since he's off today, he's going to come up, spend some time with me, some breakfast with me. Gotta keep my mind off things. My mother-in-law's coming later. So yeah, it'd be a little bit different than what it has been, and I'm grateful, but it's different for me. I'm not sure if it's different in a good way or a bad way. I think both, because I'm having to, it's good to have somebody with me, but also I'm having to learn how to adjust how I'm going to be dealing with things. So that's that.
If you hit that IV pill, you're going to be in trouble because it hurts. Don't even hit the tube.
So she is back for surgery now. Her spirits are way better than they were, which is great. I prayed for her this morning. Prayed for her when we got here. Doc came in, talked to her, prayed for her before he left. He's a great doctor. But her spirits are a lot better, and that's good. She was laughing, joking, making jokes with the staff, so that's a good thing. Then they gave her medicine, and all that got way worse. So waiting on. Yeah, parking's better at 6:45. Yeah, she's doing a lot better, which is good. Going into it with the best spirits you can, I think, are always a positive thing. When my son's here, we're going to have some breakfast while we wait. I think they said it should take roughly an hour, so it is 9:10. I assume they'll start in maybe 30 minutes or so, so we'll see how it goes. But let's go find the cafeteria and eat. So she's out of surgery. She did well. They had to do a couple of things, pull down. Things were attached a little bit too well, but she's done well. She's got about an hour in recovery now, and then I will get to see her. So in the meantime, we have had breakfast. Our son showed up, and now since we're waiting until she gets out of holding, we decided to walk up this hill. Nice little view, nice rocks, and then let's see, walk over here. You're right here, you get a little overview of the city and things of that sort. But it's a nice little spot. She had a procedure here several years ago, and I can remember coming up here and I sat right there on that rock and just admired the sky and prayed and thought and cried and just sat and thought, and it was good. So I feel like this area is very nice. And I'm just going to hang out up here, kind of walk around, clear some head space before I go back in and see her. And then we will talk about how it went. I'm sure she's going to want to know. 98% sure we're going to stay the night, mainly for her comfort and to make sure she's monitored well, because I don't have the same monitoring systems at the house that they do here. But this is life. Had an incident yesterday. One of my workers, I think he's 30, 31, went to the hospital, left, panicked. Turns out he's just a little dehydrated, and he came back later in the day, and I told him, I said, it's rough getting old. Inevitably, it happens to all of us. So if you're young, prep for it. If you're old, help the younger people realize that it's coming. Alright, so she is up, talking, doing well. She's got up a couple of times, went to the bathroom and such. So my breakfast is worn off. I had to come to the car to get our stuff, and then I'm going to stop and get something to eat and head back up there with her. I probably look like a madman, but ask me if I care. I do not. I didn't hear y'all ask me, so I figured I would answer. Don't have room for this cup. So back in the car it goes. It has been a little different having people here this time, and I have enjoyed it. It has helped my mental state a little bit. But for now, let's go eat, get back up to the room. So for the sake of not getting kicked out of the hospital, I am bringing the camera. Anyway, can y'all see me? I'm bringing the camera to the car. Personally, I think it's kind of lame, but I understand. I had the camera filming this time lapse that you saw earlier in the window. Doctors, nurses, in and out all day. A surgeon actually asked me, hey, what do you have the camera for? I was like, just documenting life if I decide I want to record for a moment. He says, okay, cool. Never said a word. More nurses and everybody came through, never said anything. It was either laying there or in the window the entire time. Never once filmed any staff, any other patients, none of that stuff. And then suddenly one little, I guess she's a nurse or assistant or something, she comes in, she goes, oh, is that a camera? I said, yeah, I'm filming a time lapse of the sunset. That's HIPAA violation. And I said, I'm just recording, the sunset, no big deal. I'm going to have to tell somebody. And I thought that was crazy, but next thing I know, house supervisor and security come in, asking me about the camera, asking me what I'm filming. And I explained to them, I never once thought that what I was filming was a HIPAA violation in any way, shape, or form. Didn't record any staff, didn't do any of that stuff. But evidently, it is. And the thing that gets me is everybody, I've heard it from numerous people, is with everything that's going on inside hospitals. And then I'm like, well, what exactly is going on? Try to help me understand. We're not at liberty to say. Okay, that's cool. I don't get it. But if I just have my camera to record me, maybe my wife, and the sky. I honestly don't see what the big deal is and why security has to come muscling in the room trying to, ask me questions. But for the sake of not getting kicked out of the hospital and being able to stay for the rest of the time with my wife, I have brought the camera to the car. I'm going to lock it up. Hopefully, all is well. She's doing good. She's painfully recovering. Knew it was going to be a very painful recovery. So she's a trooper. She's trying her best to not take the heavy meds because both of us hate them. But she's doing well. And maybe in a few days I'll get back and update you with some more info. But in the meantime, remember, no filming in the hospitals.